Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're doing another Chit Chat Get Ready with me. So either grab your makeup bag and, let's get ready together, or if you're not getting ready and you just like to kind of relax and hang out and chit chat, then, grab something to drink and a snack and we'll just hang out together for a while. So today I am going to I have two things that I have to go to tonight. Well, first I have to babysit. And then I'm going to an event with some people that I volunteered with. It's downtown in the city, and it is going to be at a place that's kind of like a tavern-ish kind of place. I mean, they do serve food and stuff there, but I think I haven't been in there in a long time, but I think that they have pool tables in there still. Not exactly sure, and they probably do bands sometimes, but the meeting time is early. It's like 4 o'clock. Now I can't be there at 4 o'clock. I can't be there until like 5:30. So, I mean, the meeting time is so early that it's not going to be like, going out to the club kind of situation. Now, they may stay late. I don't really know, but I actually am only going to be able to be there for about an hour because I have to be, I'm a part of a group of people. I don't know, it's kind of like a book club type group of people that are all, none of us have kids. And we get together every other Friday night. So, most of the time. So, I'm just putting on my Avon Magic's Face Perfector. Oops. And then I'm throwing it on the floor. So anyway, this group, it's a whole different, everybody is a little bit different in the group. I don't have kids because I don't want kids. And so, that's my situation. There's somebody in the group who is still very young, and so, probably shouldn't have kids yet. And probably will end up having them, at some point when they get a little older and decide to get married and that kind of stuff. Sorry, trying to move my mirror up here so I can see what I'm doing. That works. This is my color corrector that I'm trying to use up. So anyway, there's one person who's young and, just doesn't have kids because they shouldn't have them yet in life. And there's one person who, or maybe two people, I'm not really sure. I don't know everybody's, personal business, but we all get along. So there's one person who, just believes that you should, you should get married and you should find a partner that you feel will be a good parent and that your parenting styles match and, yada, 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 that would be a good life partner, and feels that you should do that before you have kids. And that part of the equation has just never happened, for them so far. And, based on age, it's getting a little past probably having their own child. But, you can adopt and foster, and there's all different, there's a lot of things you can do about that these days. Surrogates and whatever else. But anyway, so life just didn't deal those cards that way to them. So they don't have kids, but would probably like them. And then, there's a couple who would like to have kids and has been trying to have kids, but have just had difficulties being able to carry a pregnancy, all the way through to term. So the group is like just a very diverse group, and the thing that we all have in common, there's a lot of things we have in common, but the thing that brings us together is the fact that none of us have kids for all of our different reasons. So that group, we meet every other Friday night and do different things. but this time we are, quite often we go to the home of, you know, one of the members, and we'll have dinner, and a lot of times we watch a movie or something like that, and just enjoy each other's company. You know, it's just something to do, people to get together with on a Friday night. So, I am dressing, I'm doing my makeup halfway the way I would do it if I were going to go out, like go out dancing or something, go out to the club or to the bar, or like with my girlfriends, like, you know, like a single lady, and do my thing. So I'm kind of just going to do my makeup sort of halfway between that, and then, but I'm going to keep it kind of pared down because, you know, the bar portion of the evening for me is going to end very early, and then I'm just going over to, you know, the home of a friend, and that's someplace where we can be a little more casual and comfortable if we want to. So I have to kind of find a happy medium today, so that's what I'm working on. And I'm going to use my Avon Ideal Flawless Invisible Coverage Liquid Foundation in Natural Beige. And you guys know, I mean, if you're new to my channel, my makeup, I do a combination of sort of everyday products that are essentially products that I'm sort of project panning, or I'm, you know, I'm working to use up, and so I use them almost every time I wear my makeup, if not every time, combined with, you know, some products that I kind of add in differently each time because I want to play around with makeup. So I think a lot of you that do things like project pan, but can't stick to just one everyday look will understand what I mean when I say that. You know, if it's just a normal everyday kind of look, you just wear every product that's in your makeup bag the way you would always do, and that's it, and you're working to use those products up. But if you have something special going on, or if you just feel like you want to play around a little bit, you sort of mix in a few fun products with the products that you're trying to use up, and that way you can do both. So that's pretty much what I do most of the time. When I was young, I mean real young, like 12, 13, 14, I mean up through my early 20s, but mostly when I was really young, I really played with makeup, you know, a lot, and I would look at magazine pictures and, you know, replicate them, and or try to replicate the look and that kind of thing. And but nowadays, for me anyway, you really don't see anything that you haven't done before a million times. I mean, you might see, like, I don't know, there's extreme makeup looks that it's like, yeah, I've never done that because, you know, I can't wear that to work, or I can't, you know, whatever. You might see something in a magazine spread that's using, like, extreme eyeliner or something, I don't know. So there's things like that that I've never really tried, but, you know, I'm 41, so at this point I have a really good feel for what looks best on me, as far as, you know, which way should I apply my eyeshadow so that it really kind of accentuates my eyes the best that they can be, and, you know, that kind of thing. A lot of those sort of standard things don't really change that much over decades. So a few things do. I mean, like, for example, you know, in the 80s, your base color went from your eyelashes all the way up to your eyebrow, and it didn't matter if your base color was pink or purple or blue or whatever. You know, you started there, and then you started working in the crease and that kind of thing. And the 90s wasn't really any different, other than we really, you know, we started doing matte looks, and we got rid of a lot of the color, and went with really bold lips, especially the color on the eyes and the cheeks, and we went with really bold lips, but they were darker and vampier, and either that or the no makeup look kind of thing, the natural look because it was in direct retaliation to all, you know, the bright colors of the 80s. It was how we went for something different. And the 2000s, really still through now. You know, the only thing that really has changed then is, you know, the highlight color, highlighting your brow. And now people really talk about contouring, whereas we contoured before, you know, even in the 90s, but you didn't talk about that part. You know, it was all about the lips kind of thing back then. Or making your eye look be really natural, that kind of thing. But we were still contouring, we just didn't talk about it. You know, so in the 2000s and, you know, up through 2015, you know, there were things like, oh, the Kim Kardashian contouring, and now everybody is really focused on highlights. And, on highlighting, and now the catchphrase is strobing, you know. I love how a brand tries to find a new way to sell the same stuff they've always been selling. So they create a palette and then they make a name for the process, you know. So instead of just calling it contouring like we've always been, now they call it strobing. And rather than using mattes, they use a little more sparkly things, right? I don't know, it's just funny to me. But anyway, so I don't do that much replication of looks anymore because, believe me, if I saw something that was actually really new, that I could wear out of the house, you know, that wasn't like for a costume type thing, or like I said, for a magazine spread where you could, you know, do something a little crazy and it's appropriate, then I would probably do a lot more replications, or, you know, how to get that look type playing around, which would probably cross over into my videos. But I don't know. You know, I think I like to watch the young girls, though. I mean, not that sounds kind of weird, but I say young girls, and they might be in their mid to late 20s, you know. But it's still all new to them, you know. It's still all new. So it's kind of fun to watch them say things like, oh, this new thing, or this new product, or this new, and you're like, girl. But it's funny. I mean, it's cute, you know. It's just cute. It's cute to watch the excitement that they still have, you know. And I mean, I still love makeup, so don't, it kind of sounded sort of like wah wah, but I still love makeup. It just is different, you know. The older you get, it's different. And one thing is that my face hasn't really changed that much. Oh, my tummy growled. Did you hear that? I haven't eaten anything today yet. It's like 20 after 1. I've not had anything to eat. I have the worst diet ever. What was I saying? I don't know. It's fun. It's just fun to watch them still exploring and that kind of thing. And my face, I mean, I'm 41. My face has changed, and what I struggle with the most now is my swelling. You know, my face swelling up, and I end up with like 8 chins and stuff, and all the peeling. I'm dealing with a lot of peeling today. Because my skin reacts, and it's almost like it blisters from the inside out, and then as that comes to the surface, you know, you have all these patches of damaged skin that aren't dead though, so it's just a pain in the rear. But I don't really deal with major wrinkling yet, or I mean, I have some fine lines and stuff, but I don't really have a real problem with fine lines. And, I mean, my eyelids are not as taut as they were when I was young. You know, I get a little puffy through here sometimes, and they're a little more hooded than they were, but the shape really has not changed that much. So I've not yet had to accommodate. That was the Hard Candy Glamouflage Heavy Duty Concealer in light, and the Cover Stick Concealer in Deep Beige by Maybelline. Anyway, so I've not yet had to, like, accommodate or really change my makeup at all because something doesn't work anymore. Like, you know, I don't really have any kind of major problems with, okay, things now really sink into lines and wrinkles or that kind of thing. I have occasions sometimes where things sort of get into the fine lines a little bit, different places, and I definitely have issues where things cling to the dry, peely patches. But I don't worry about it that much. And I also know that it's anytime things are sinking in to your fine lines, you've either done one or two things. Your skin is either not moisturized enough. You need more moisture, and that could be moisture from the inside out. You know, you might need more fluids, to drink more fluids, but you might just need to moisturize a little better. Or you are putting on way too much product, and it has no place to go, so it starts to do crazy things. Most people are using way too much product, because part of the interesting thing about YouTube, the changes that YouTube have caused in the way people put makeup on, is girls are now, for their everyday, putting on a full face of performance makeup that is suitable for camera work, you know, which is a heck of a lot of makeup. And that's their norm, because that's what they, you know, they went online to learn how to put on makeup, and these gurus show them how they put on their makeup, which they're putting on for camera, so they're piling it on. And so now it's become the norm, and I mean, it won't last. I mean, at some point, these young girls are going to get busy lives. You know, they're going to get jobs, they're going to get married, they're going to have kids, and they're not going to have 3 hours to put their makeup on in the morning. And they're definitely not going to, you know, need those fake lashes on when they're working their factory job or whatever it is that they're doing. You know, or they go to their job and they're wearing all the fake lashes and all that stuff, and their boss pulls them in someday and says, you know, let's talk about image, shall we? Right. Anyway, I mean, unless they're actors or something, I mean, or if they're performing or dancers or something, but, you know, for the everyday Joe, it's just not going to last very long in their life. And it's been kind of fun, you know, if you've been watching YouTube since the beginning of YouTube, if you've been involved with it, it's been fun. The thing that I really kind of enjoyed in kind of a sarcastic, sadistic way was watching all the girls who only wore MAC because they were young and they had no idea about anything about makeup, and they were popular on YouTube because they were pretty girls and they seemed like they knew a lot, but all they knew was, you know, MAC products, and they really didn't know a whole lot of anything about makeup. The thing that I enjoyed watching the most was watching them discover that MAC, and no offense to MAC, but the MAC is not the be-all and end-all of makeup, and it's not the only brand out there. And in many, 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 many cases, it's not the best brand out there. And watching them slowly discover that when they were all, you know, all MAC all the time. Now, part of that is because MAC was one of the first brands that realized that they could send product to young girls, and these girls would make these videos. This was before, you know, YouTubers realized they were accountable to the IRS and accountable to regulations that you have to admit when people are paying you to do this, or when you have been sent products to do this, that kind of thing. It was before people realized that they had to comply with laws. And, you know, kudos to MAC for being the first makeup brand, really, that realized what a huge opportunity they had with YouTube and with young, you know, pretty girls promoting their products for them. But then, as more and more people discovered YouTube and started doing videos, you know, then they had to start sending products to more and more and more people. And I think there was a lot of things happening where the people that they had used before were mad about it, and or weren't getting as much anymore, and you know, were forced to then start to use other brands, or then other brands were starting to catch on and were starting to contact them as well at that point, and started to use other brands that way. And then they suddenly realized that, you know, MAC's not the end of the world. And the most interesting thing is, if you watch them now, pretty much none of them really promote MAC products that much anymore. They'll still promote, like, they'll get the seasonal line sent to them. They'll still show you, like, almost like an unboxing, where they'll show you the seasonal line, but they really aren't promoting or using the MAC products anymore. They're using everything else. Too Faced and Makeup Forever and Lorac. I've been preaching about Lorac since the very beginning, since Lorac was first created. And it took forever for people to jump on the bandwagon. It's because I didn't have any online authority, so to speak. So, you know, even though you would tell them, use this product, they would just, you know, like, who are you, kind of thing, you know. So I really, my sarcastic sense of humor has really loved watching these people sort of eat crow over the years, and they don't even know that they're doing it. You know, for that stuff. Anyway, that's just my sense of humor. Okay, so I used my new Age Transforming Pressed Powder in Bare Beige. I used my Incredible Finish Loose Bronzing Powder in Suntan, my pressed powder. I used my MARC eye primer in Medium to Dark. And this is my Becoming 3 Cheers multi-look eye color in Posh. And so I just put a little bit of the cream color under my brow bone. And you know what? I need to take care of these brow hairs for a second. So even though I just put makeup on, I'm just going to do it right now, because I keep forgetting at night when I wash my face, and it's getting out of control. So let me do a little cleanup here real quick. And then I'll do a full shaping later. Oh, it's making me have to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, that's a little better. Alright, that's better. I'm gonna have to wipe that razor off with a wipe to get the makeup off of it. Okay, so let me just touch that back up a little bit with that cream eyeshadow. Now my nose is ready. Anyway, so have any of you been watching, like, really watching since the beginning? And the funny thing is you still see these girls making these mistakes. But the majority of their followers are much younger kids than them, so, you know, they think that they speak the gospel. I'm going to take a little bit of the green and just go into the crease. I'm going to do probably a liquid eyeliner today, just to be a little more going out-ish than I normally would for every day. But I'm not going to go crazy with the eyeshadow. I'm just going to do a little crease color and that's it. I think I want to use a pretty intense lip color, so we'll kind of keep the eyes somewhat neutral. My mirror is in a weird place because it's kind of off to the side, so I'm finding my fingers are feeling a little awkward because my hand is not in the same place it normally would be. So, what are you guys doing on your Friday night? By the time this is up, your Friday night's going to be over, so tell me what you did on your Friday night. That way, don't tell me what you're gonna do on this Friday night. That way nobody stalks you and, you know, breaks into your house or anything while you're gone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do eyeliner. And I'm just realizing I have not used liquid eyeliner in a very long time. It's been many weeks, so I'm going to have to dig to the bottom of my bag here and find it. Well, I wanted to use black, but I cannot find my black. So I guess I'm going to use brown. So this is the Avon Precision Glimmer eyeliner in Dune. How much you want to bet as soon as I put this on, I'll find it? I don't know where it could possibly be. Even if I traveled with it, it would be back in here. I don't have any other place that it could possibly be. I don't know. You ever had those days? I'm having one of those days where your eyeliner, your eyelashes for whatever reason are super duper curly. Like, not curly, but curled up. And so you can't get your eyeliner on without getting your eyelashes. They're in the way. Now, I'm not doing any crazy wings or anything because I'm not going out. It's not late night out. Do a little bit of cleanup here. Just clean my fingers off. And clean off my brush that I use with my color corrector. Wipe off that razor. Do my brows. This is just the brow powder, Avon brow powder in Fawn. I don't do a lot to my brows. I just add a little color. My brows are very thin. I don't like a fake brow look. So I add a little color, and I concentrate that color here in the front, because that's what makes you look younger, is having brows thicker in the front and thinner at the end. So you want the majority of your color to be there as well, and then, you know, I drag it out. And then I place it along the top, because my brows are very thin, just naturally. So I place the color mostly at the top, and that helps to make the arch look a little bit higher. Gives me a little more shape, a little more curve. But I really like a natural brow. So I'm just brushing through just to make sure the hairs are going in the direction that I want them to go. Okay, I'm going to put on some mascara, and I think I'm going to use my like going out mascara. This is the Stila Amplifying and Intensifying Glamorized Mascara in black. This one, I don't know, I just like the way it performs, and I don't seem to have any trouble with it running or smudging or anything, and it really kind of lengthens my lashes. That's what I prefer. I'm not a volume person. I want my lashes to look like they're 900 miles long. And so, you know, it helps to accentuate that. So, anyway, I've kind of dubbed it this is my fancy mascara. I have other fancy mascaras, but... The only downside about this one is I find that it dries out fairly easily. You know, a lot of mascaras, if you don't use them right away, or even, you know, if you open it but you don't use it, if you're not opening it all the time, they don't really dry out because they're sealed fairly shut. This one I find does just over time dry out whether you open it or not. So, I don't know. Some people might see that as a drawback. I mean, it's not cheap mascara, so, you know, if you're somebody who likes to play with different mascaras all the time, you might not prefer this one because of that reason. But it is looking a little bit dry right now. It's flaking a little bit, but that's okay. It's alright. It's all good. Okay, now, let's see. My left side, for some reason, yeah, I don't know. Depends on which way the sun's going. My right cheeks always looks not very blended, and my left eye always looks not very blended on camera. But in the mirror, my face is the same on both sides, and they're even and blended. Very strange. Okay, so for blush, I'm just using the Mary Kay rosy color, whatever color it used to be. You know, back when they gave you a lot of product. Back in the day. I'm concentrating the majority of the color just kind of above my contour. So there's kind of a, you know, a little bit of a gradient effect. And then kind of what's left I put here a little closer to the apples and cheeks. I don't do my actual apples because they are right here and they're really close to the front of my face. And I don't know, it's just not very slimming for my face shape. It's a little bit aging if I get right on the apples of my cheeks. So I go a little further back. And then just put a little bit through here. Oh, I'm really peely today. Stuff is really clinging to my patchy spots, but that's okay. Then I'm going to highlight with my Blush Crush Baked Blush in Honeymoon by Hard Candy. This is an e.l.f. brush, e.l.f. Professional Bronzing brush that I use for this. This is just like the easiest, like no-brainer sort of highlight. I mean, it's supposed to be a blush, but obviously I use it as a highlight because it doesn't have a lot of color. It has sheen, it has glow, it has luminosity. Might feel like doing a little bit here on my cheeks today. This I don't normally do, but I don't know. I feel like I want to be a little glowy through here, so I will actually use it as the function it was designed for, which is as a blush. Okay, and then I want a little dramatic lip. I do have a little lip balm on. When I get out of the shower, one of the first things that I do, I clean my ears, brush my teeth, and then one of the first things I do, I put deodorant on, and then I moisturize my face, but the first thing I put on is lip balm. And then I put in hair products and lotion up my body and blow my hair dry and all that other stuff. So I do still, I do have a little balm on. It hasn't completely absorbed. Today I'm going to use the Rouge Dior in number 786 Mauve Mystere, the lipstick. This is the Couture Color Voluptuous Care. This is the purple one. It's like a really cool sort of bright purple. So this is a little fun for nighttime, right? You finding little brush hairs. No lip liner or anything. Not today. I used to use lip liner like all the way through the 80s and 90s, and most of the good first half of the 2000s. I did lip liner first, then I put on lip balm, because if you put lip balm first, it's harder to put the lip liner on. So I did lip liner, then lip balm, and then lip color, like every day. And I do really like it that way, and I used a lip brush back then. I wasn't putting things on out of a tube. And I do really like it that way, and it does actually look better that way. Applies better, it's more even, smoother, it's all of those things. But now I'm 41 and I'm lazy. So, fun color, right? And then, you guys won't see any of this stuff, but I'm going to probably straighten my hair just with a big fat curling iron. That's my preferred way to do it. And then I'll put on, earrings and things, and these are my little diamond, like tri-diamond studs. And I usually keep these in my second hole, because my second hole, if I don't keep earrings in there all the time, likes to try and close up on me still after 2 or 2.5 decades of having them. So I always keep something in my second hole, like at night. So you guys see these in my ears all the time. And then my first hole doesn't do that, so I don't have to worry about it. The only time I keep something in my first hole is if I've worn an earring that the post was a little bit too thick and it kind of makes your ear sore, or if they were a little too heavy or something, which I rarely ever wear heavy earrings, because I grew up in the 80s and I saw what it did to people's ears. But anyway, sometimes they get just a little bit sore if you haven't worn earrings in a long time, and then you wear a pair and they just get a little tender. So sometimes I'll put a post in, like a good stud in then, and sleep with it and just give them time to recover. But so I might put a little glitter around here or something for fun. But that's it. What do you think? It's a little bit going out, but it's not too crazy. If I were going to stay out later, I would have done more intense eyeliner, and I would have hunted for sure until I found my black eyeliner. I have no idea where that has gone to. But yeah. This is good for now. This will do. Good enough for tonight. Yeah, because when I show up at my friend's house, at the second location for dinner, that's going to be a lot more casual, I think. So I'll be a little fancy for that, a little casual for the night out, but the best sort of mix that I can do. for the day. Alright, so tell me, what are you doing on your Friday night? You know, what have you been up to? How long have you been watching YouTube? And what have you really enjoyed watching? Do you have any sarcastic commentary like I have of, you know, watching all these young girls sort of evolve and learn a little more over the years? What do you think about all that stuff? Because a lot of people who watch me, I have younger viewers, but a lot of people who watch me have been doing makeup for decades, and many in a professional sense. So, you know, what do you think about how influential YouTube is? In kind of, one thing I think is interesting, I'll just throw this in here before I say goodbye, is it's interesting to me how influential YouTube is on what people think is factual information, even when you're just talking about something silly like makeup, versus, you know, what those of us who've kind of lived through it know to be accurate or more accurate. What do you think about that? I mean, YouTube is probably more influential than most things. Sort of like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is very influential. People think it's factual information, but anybody can write, anybody, myself, you, can go to a Wikipedia page and change anything in the commentary that you want to. So, you know, you can't read it and believe it to be fact. You can read it and think, okay, this is a place for me to start, and now I have to look up and find actual facts and verify that what I've even just read is correct. And a lot of the pages are correct, but, you know, there are also a lot of people out there who just for fun like to go to Wikipedia pages and change information and make it false because they think it's funny, and people look at it and think it's true. So, what do you think about all of that? It's kind of crazy, but I don't know. It's where we go. We go to YouTube and we go to Google and we go to Wikipedia to get our information, don't we? Whether it's true or not. Okay, well, have a good Friday night, even though you're probably going to see this on a different day of the week. So just have a good evening no matter what day of the week it is. And I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. And I'll see you next time. I think probably the next time I do one of these, I'm probably going to be playing around with the e.l.f. Studio Long Lasting Lustrous Eyeshadow in Toast. This is one I haven't used yet, so I want to play with it. I mean, it's not like a brand new, it is listed as a new product, but it's not like new. But I've had it for a while and just have never gotten around to using it, so I'm going to use it. Alright, see you guys next time. Bye!